one important thing is DSA. Do it. Like that is a core stuff you have to. I don't know how the future will come out. Maybe companies.
Hello, podcast listeners. Today we are here with another episode of USS ACM Aawaz. I am Ragini Pant, an ECE performer at USICU. I'll be hosting today's episode. Our guest for today is Mr. Rajat Maheshwari, an alum of USICU and founding member of ACM. Starting his career with Amazon, he is currently working as SDE-2 at Oracle. Welcome, sir. I'd like the listeners to know a bit more about you, where you come from, where you did your schooling from, and anything that you would like to share with us.
Okay, so I've been born and brought up in Delhi only. So like schooling and all, it was all done in like my local area only, and I had a very different history with schools. I don't suppose anyone in my batch had that. So I went to those proper government schools, 12 to 6, boys wala. So we used to stare at girls at 12 when they come out. So that kind of school I was in. Post that in 11th, I switched to a different co-ed school for 2 years. That again was a government school. My grandfather believed like you can get education anywhere. So he was a government employee, so he wanted me to be in a government school. After that, prepared 1 year for these exams, engineering exams. Initially, I had no motivation, Initially, I wanted to go to Delhi University because it was a hype and it was close to my place, North Campus. So that was my sort of idea of life, living a cool life there. I actually even went and joined Ansraj College for a couple of months in physics honors. I stayed there, but within 2 months I realized their labs their labs were even, dirty and not up to the mark. Even our school labs were better. So I lost the interest within a month and I dropped out of that program. Then everybody was doing it. I got some inspiration from one of my relatives who was an IITian and all. So he suggested me, now you should do it. So I prepared for the exams and then I joined USICT because my goal was to get into computer science. I was not getting it from other places. And frankly, I had no idea about language, computers and all. I never had computer in all my 12-year education.
Your schooling life.
Yeah, never. But yeah, it seemed interesting to me.
And so you took it up. Yeah, that was actually going to be a question that, as a 10th standard student, did it ever occur to you that you were going to pursue engineering? Did you?
No, I told you, I was always into that hip lifestyle. So I was like, I'll be a cool guy in North Campus. And I'll get into some big MNC suit, pant, and I'll do the meetings and all. So that kind of vision I had around this corporate world, just living in a very posh environment and all that. So that was the vision I had. But over the years, things have changed. I still want to have that lifestyle, but be in tech domain, not in the other domains. So I'm comfortable with this field now.
Exactly, that's everyone's dream to just live in a Porsche area and be rich, And with us, it was always like engineering is the only thing. So I'm actually surprised to know that it was very different for you and you took up engineering later. Also I'm very sure that there was this competitive environment around you which you ended up in college. So how did that affect you, like your peer group and everything?
So, competitiveness, frankly, it's a very personal thing, but I'll tell you, many of my batchmates or many people who I was interacting with in college didn't know about, I was not into having a good connect with my batchmates in first semester especially. So my first semester it was not because of that. First semester I was into depression. Because of that I was not able to connect to people. So that was there in the first semester. But after that I picked up this competitive coding and all. So that took away my depression and that took away all of my time and attention. And then after a year I switched to a different batch from IT to CSE and I focused mainly on academics in the first year. So after that in CSE, I got a good connect with people, and over the next 3 years, I had a pretty good list of friends. Yeah.
Like you mentioned that you were kind of depressed in the first year. Then how did you manage to top it like among 180 students? That actually a big feat. I mean, I'm curious to know now.
I I used to even cry at my hostel room, and that happened multiple times. So there was one friend, a female friend, who supported me, and obviously academics and this coding and all that took some of my time. And apart from this, watching YouTube, self productivity, help books, and all that. So I spent too much amount of time. Even though I learned a lot of things, but the crux came out to be very simple, basic rules that I followed, and I was able to get out of it.
I read your LinkedIn profile and you mentioned that you're passionate about teaching and taking up leadership roles. So how have you been up to like in your professional life? What are you doing about that?
Thing is, when you pass out from college and you start earning some money, there comes out first. Comes out pressure comes out to lead a certain lifestyle, do partying, going to places, travel. So that was there. But apart from that, I had some mishappenings at home, and I had to, we have to reinvent this home. So you see the wall behind me.
Yeah.
I painted this.
Oh my god, yeah, that's really beautiful.
We planned our home, like it took me a year or more than a year because of COVID. Things slowed down, so that all those things took up some time. But recently, I have some things planned on my. There's a whiteboard. They are planned there. So the teaching and all things are coming up sometime in the future. Yeah.
That the wall, that means it's kind of your passion, I guess, because it's really amazing. It's nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah. I don't think it's a very hard skill to learn. I just watched some Pinterest, so I found it on Pinterest, so it was doable, so I was able to do that. You're in hostel, right?
In my hostel right now. Yeah. That's actually my next question. So you were a hostler, and we all know that boys' hostel in itself is very mischievous. We get to hear stories from our friends every day. So did you find yourself hooked on to all that fun, yeah, you did follow a disciplined life? How is it?
How is it?
So see, discipline and that comes up like all the 4 years I tried to be disciplined, but it never happens. It went like some bumps, everything is going down, then it went downhill. Then bad days, staying up all night, doing the breakfast and then going to sleep. Attending usually 1 or 2 classes that happen to after lunch, like 3, 4, 5 hours. It was there. But yeah, discipline, you try to achieve it, but you are not able to because of many things that happen in hostel.
It was.
What is something that you remember from hostel that you would take it to your grave? I mean, some memory or something.
My first day itself. So, not exactly first day, a couple of days after I think it was first day only. So, I set up all my room and all my laptop and everything, and then some 4th year guys in front of my room, they were partying. They were doing all kind of stuffs in their room. So they got to know ek naya ladka hai. So they called upon me and they asked me to do some weird things. I did that. It was okay, nothing too much. So I did that. Like pani lana, and they asked me what do you do. I said I play badminton, and also they acha khel ke dekha room mein, smash maar ke dekha. They were sort of high, so yeah, I did all those things. But right after that, after some time, they all came to my room and they started doing all kind of things like drinking, smoking and all that in my room only, and it was weird to me. You see, at the very first year, it was weird. Yeah, so I was not comfortable, and at that night I couldn't sleep. I thought maybe they'll do something to me. But and that night only warden came to my room and he said, did they do anything or your home mein kaisa? But I was like, okay, now is the time for bro code. So I said, nahi sir, kuch nahi hua, everything is alright. And then they were like, oh, sahi kiya tune. And the very next day, I had like after that, when they were sober, I had a very good interaction with them. So they went, I was connected to some of them after my 4 years also. Like recently I messaged someone, so I get a response. So they know me, they remember my face. They hardly know anyone from my batch. Those group, yeah.
Because hostel life is actually in itself an experience. I've also lived like for 5 months and it has been great. So Now I just want to go completely off topic, and it's a serious question. What, in your perspective, is the importance of a certain personality type in the corporate world? Like, how do you think the way we communicate affects our growth? In like, you've worked in two companies. How would you describe your experience regarding that?
I would say a couple of things which are very basic but people fail to comprehend are the way you speak, the way you sort of like interact with people. See, if you can speak, if you can listen, if you can write, if you can do these basic things well now, you will outshine many of the people, because there are, see, tech nerds are usually not good with communicating. I'll be straight up honest, and they are not good with putting themselves out there. And yeah, so the problem I see is people tend to overcomplicate things. They don't understand the perspective of the other person. So this is something we call as emotional intelligence. So you should say or speak things in the context of other person, like how would he would perceive me, or what are the things he is aware of. So you describe what you are doing in a certain manner, so that would be that becomes helpful for you. So that is very basic but yet very important skill.
How do you think, like, interacting in classes and all, we can improve it, or we should like consciously make efforts to learn?
So I definitely did not got this skill in classrooms, neither in my school and neither in the college classroom. So I have one person who will definitely not watch this. I know he was senior like 2 years elder than me in the college, Santosh Bhaiya. So he I'm not sure about his origins, but yeah, he's from Delhi only. So it was my first year only. I was just roaming around the hostel, and he was on my floor only. So I saw little window. Oh, sorry, the gate was little open, and room was very dark. And that person was sitting on his bed with laptop on, and there were Wolverine and different cool posters on the back on the wall. So that guy looked very cool to me. He appealed to me. So for some reason, I used to take water cooler you have on the floor, right? So his room was closed, just adjacent to that only. So I went there and I was just looking outside the room, and he came out of the room and he just talked to me with cheer and all. So I said he was very shy. He's very introvert. So but we interacted. Then he asked me some question. I gave some response, and the very next question he had was, "Do you believe in God?" And that point, we went into his room and we started conversing. And from that point, we used to interact a lot. Now the thing is, he was good with communication, and he doesn't used to speak. He doesn't speak Hindi. He usually converse in English only. So I was not that much confident and fluent with English at that point of my life. But because of him, half of my day was used to be in his room only. So that way I got this skill to communication. We both of us used to discuss about various things, be it tech, be it art, be it movies. He was very much interested into movies and direction. So I learned a lot, he learned a lot, and I improved my skills from there. After that, you do these clubs, you started doing classes, interacting with professors, and holding these code school classes. All of these things, was like an icing on the top. But the basic came from him. I have to thank him for the rest of my life.
So basically, it's not necessary that you need to learn it. It's just some basic fun things you can turn into basic life skills at times.
Yeah, it was an opportunity. I straight up thought it's an opportunity. He's a good guy, he's close to me, and I have to improve my communication skills. I have to be good in English. I did not used to converse in English at my school, and I'm not from that kind of convent school, so there was no environment at that time. So I have to thank him for this.
So another lesson learned from you: grab an opportunity and just make the best out of it. If you can. Also, it's not like they're going to scold you about something or going to be strict. It's just fun, right? With a senior, you're just getting to develop yourself. Yeah. So now this is also another question, which is my favorite question that I always ask people. When I see successful people around, I'm like, oh my god, I need to know this. So I want to know what in your life do you think is your biggest failure? Like, learning about people's failure just brings me back to, it reassures me on my level. कि ठीक है, people do fail and then they learn something. So what is your biggest failure in life? Or what do you think?
Okay, you're asking failures around career only, right?
No, anywhere, in school sometimes some things happen, sometimes while giving competitive exams, anything, something that thing changed you as a person. Because
Biggest regret would be around a girl. I missed an opportunity in my school. I had that, and that is one of the regret I still have. Yeah. Apart from that, when it comes to like academics and all, uh, I see it's like at every point you would think, ki, oh, I went to this, I studied this, maybe I should have done something better. There's always something better you can do at every point of your time. But yeah, in that manner, I would have said, oh, maybe I should have gone to better school, maybe I should have gone to better coaching. So if I took that thing into perspective, there would be many things that I could have improved. But a regret would be my habit of overthinking and overanalyzing. So that was a problem for me. Even today it is. So if I now I don't do that much. I understood you don't have to dig too much. You just have to look at the basics. So if I had that capacity, that learning in the initial stages of my career and in my college also, I might have achieved more than what I am now. So this is a thing that I regret. I used to spend just looking at the wall, thinking, planning, analyzing, doing all kind of research, and
listening to overthinking, it's like every in initial adult's problem. We're just thinking what will happen if we do this or whatever. That's something we all go through, and I'm actually in that state. So I'm like, okay, let me learn it from you. No overthinking from now. Yeah. So, rolling back to your first semester in college, looking at your grades, you definitely didn't get down. But how would you parallelize between studying in school and then maintaining the grades in college? Because you actually topped your department even after the first year, like 3 consecutive years. So what was your discipline, or what did you do in college?
I would say I have been good with scoring marks. I know what to put out there in the sheet that would make the professor give you good marks. So that is something I know. But apart from that, yes, I did study, but I did it in a stretch. That stretch was usually 1 or at max 2 days before the exam. So that was the time I used to study. I never studied, like I think in the first semester only for mathematics and couple of subjects I did study like sometime before the exams. But apart from that, for the rest 3 years, it was always like just a couple days prior to exams.
Days before exams.
Yeah. But
So
I have friends. We used to stay in a room, so everybody used to distribute like units 1, 2, 3, and 4. I used to study first 2 units thoroughly. It was always the same pattern, and third unit used to come down to some other guy, and fourth we usually do some and some skill. Fourth usually so yeah. So that was the pattern I followed, and I was able to put out things in a good manner on the.
So I guess studying 1-2 days before exam is an engineering trait that every one of us should learn, because
You should learn this practice, because in your work also this will help. You should be able to grasp things quickly.
we need to learn that, because otherwise we'll be wasting.
To like I sometimes think I spend too much time. So I used to do in this fest, anchoring these multiple clubs I was part of. ACM also took a lot of time. I made few very good friends there actually. So the founding team, I'm still connected to some members of it.
Very good. Now we're actually the core members of that team. So thanks to you for getting this opportunity to be a part of this club, I guess.
Point of time we used to do very stupid things. Now you're holding this. What we used to do, banner कहाँ से बनवाएं, letters खुद से we used to do craft and all that. I used to run multiple places to get things done, photocopies and very stupid basic work. But I think now things are more organized and this society gets good funding also from college. At that point of time we didn't have that. But yeah, apart from this, there were 3 parts of my life. In third year it was very hectic. One is classes and all, but I used to attend, I had very low attendance. I wouldn't give out the number because that would put a bad impression on you guys, but it is very low. Very low.
Okay.
Yeah, I was second lowest in the class when it comes to attending classes. And so classes were pretty much none, and second part was usually coding or learning about some skills, and one was doing these curriculums and all, attending different things kind of thing, and parallelly I was doing some research and some internships, so that used to take away some time. I used to run around to other college. I was in IIT Delhi, so I used to go there every week, 2-3 days, so I had to manage all that, so it was very hectic. And because of doing multiple things, I still think there are some places where I could have achieved more if I would have focused on 1 or 2 things only. But I did multiple things, so output was good, but not up to the my full potential.
So would you recommend doing multiple things? I mean, I don't think you went to IIT Delhi and for research and all, so you obviously like that part of your life, even if you couldn't like. So would you recommend us doing multiple things when we come to a third year or fourth year?
It depends on the personality actually. I am kind of a person who who aspires to do multiple things at a time, because that's how I visualize my best. I think when I'm at my best, I'll be doing fitness, I'll be doing my tech stuff, I'll be doing YouTube, I'll be doing blah 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 blah. So I visualize myself, I should be productive enough to do these kind of things.
A lot of things.
So that is what motivated me to do multiple things in the college. But if it does not suit your personality, and if you have a clear goal that you want something that only, then I would definitely recommend to do only one thing. But yeah, don't take one thing, take one thing more as a backup. So at least 2 things.
Okay. So I guess we should go to a rapid fire round. It's a fun round, you just need some different questions. Okay, so the first question would be, it's actually a controversial question. So, is it Amazon or Oracle for you? Which one do you prefer? Like the work environment or anything?
Both has their, every company has a pros and cons. They are designed in this way, so there's a reason why people jump. They think, oh, this is not good here, let's move there, this will be good there. When they go there, they find, oh, that is good, but some other thing is not good.
Is missing, yeah.
So these usually comes out 2-3 things: work-life balance, kind of work you're doing, your pay, your office environment, and how the company is treating the employees. So these kind of things. So obviously work-life balance was not there in Amazon. Yeah, even Oracle is pretty much similar to Amazon in many things, but yeah, here they care more about employees. And yeah, it's another reason was it's a permanent work from home job, and I needed a work from home job only for now. And Amazon was usually, at that point of time, they were calling out to Bangalore. Yeah, but yeah, it's possible. But one good thing about Amazon is it's a very high-paced environment. If you are comfortable with burnout and putting 100% of yourself all the time, you will have a good growth there.
So next question, what was your favorite personal time place in hostel? Like you would just go and chill alone, when you had to spend time with yourself.
I used to in the 2 things I used to do. I used to sort of take a jog around the campus, usually 2 rounds, and in the evening time only, and sometimes morning also, if I try to get into that discipline now. And other times it's badminton. Yeah, so these are the 2 things I used to do mostly. I never. Many people stay in canteen sometimes.
Yeah,
Just come out of hostel, get into canteen, take
Canteen,
something, or Amul se kuch खा लिया.
uh,
That was not appealing to me. Badminton court is something.
so,
And so what is your go-to TV show or movie that just releases your stress? Your sitcoms or some movies? What do you like?
So anime, I watch
Okay.
a lot of anime. Even today, I've trimmed it down to very limited series. But yeah, at that point of time, too much.
So what is your favorite anime? You know, coming for that.
It's not a appropriate, like I can't have an appropriate answer. But yeah, as of now, definitely following One Piece. It's in a very good
okay, I
state.
want peace then.
Yeah. And favorite is hard to tell, but GTO is good. You may or may not know. And yeah, these all times, like what else? What is favorite? Yeah, AOT is good.
I actually have a AOT cape in my room. I was planning to put it.
New season is coming soon. Final
Yeah.
season is coming soon.
I started watching animes recently, so I'm like,
Watch which one?
watched AOT. I watched 2-3 more Demon Slayer and all. Just recently started because my friends got into that, so just started.
Apart from that, sitcoms and DVD, Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory, yeah.
I watched it at least 2 times. Yeah, at least 2 times. Yeah.
Okay.
And what is your favorite coding language? Like,
Coding language
Most
favorite.
comfortable.
I never had opportunity to take up many languages. The very basic C++, Java, Python, React. So these are the things I have ever involved with, and I have mostly done C++ in college. So
Okay.
that was like I was comfortable with. But in the work, like in the Amazon Oracle, it's primarily Java. So I'm getting comfortable with Java. But yeah, anytime I have to do some coding challenge, it's C++.
C++. Okay.
one country that you would really want to go to someday?
Japan.
Okay.
Straight
Okay,
up.
just because of animes.
Nah. See,
Which
not
one?
only anime. I follow cultures and philosophies also. So I research about all the cultures in the world, and I have done a lot of
That's-
research. But through YouTube only, nothing.
Yeah.
YouTube and articles. But yeah,
It's
Japan's culture is really good. Really good. Yeah. I will plan a 1 month long trip there very soon.
And what was your dream job as a kid? You know, in 5th
As a kid, pilot.
Was it never becoming a teacher or a doctor? Because you know, most of us are like, doctor banna hai, papa.
So my father has a store. We have cosmetics, toys, gifts, that kind of stuff. So I never had the urge to go and buy at all. Whenever all the new toys come to my shop, so I go there, I play, and when I'm satisfied, I put them back in the box. So yeah, so there were like aeroplane that he brought to me, and that aeroplane sort of made me, I don't know, I still remember at that point of time I got the urge to be a pilot. Yeah. Doctor is never, I never had that option.
How did that dream die? I mean, you just grew up into forgetting that I wanted to become a pilot, or just
I think over the school and all, because I live in a society, I don't think anybody thought about this career, pilot and all. People were going up with the basic stuff, so it never occurred to me. And I did research about it, and it was very expensive, so I couldn't afford it at that point of time. So it came.
okay. So, what is a weird food combination that you like? Any like something?
Weird. Weird. I'm comfortable with pretty much anything. Weird. I don't.
Like people like fries with ice cream, something like that.
कभी वो खाया है ब्रेड पे मलाई चीनी लगा के?
That is definitely my. That is something I can eat any time, and it's like
मेरी मम्मी देती थी वो, so that I have acquired taste of it, so that is good, yeah.
Definitely A plus choice. Okay, so what is that one thing that you look really forward to in life, but it turned out to be disappointing? यार अरे चल ठीक है ऐसा ही था.
Clubs and all, I thought, okay, it's gonna be very cool. I have a friend who's a DJ, so in a good club, so I started going there very often recently, and I went to multiple clubs in Delhi. Like I have explored Noida, Gurgaon, your Delhi, Hoskas, all that. But over the course of time, the interest started fading away. Now, the reason for going clubs is different, not to partying and all, and it's usually to meet. If I have some friends, I go with them there. And previously, I used to hit on girls and all that, but now that thing has faded away. Now all we want is get a little drunk and just dance. So I don't even enjoy the food there. It's not that good in most of the clubs. So that was very. I had a list like I'll go to these clubs. I went to some of them, and now I've just deleted that list. I'm not interested.
So you were always excited about it, but then it turned out to be something very.
Not that interesting. You will find many fake people, fake in their appearance, fake in their ideas, fake in the way they speak. So clubs are usually filled with that kind of people. You might not have been to, but I have been to so many.
Yeah. So did you ever sneak out of college, like hostel or something, without telling your parents, to a secret trip or anything?
I never had to. My parents were very chill, so my parents still are. So if I have to go anywhere or anything, I straight up tell them, and they 99% of the time they're okay with it. Even these days, I do night outs. I take my car and I stay for whole night. I call them at 1 or 2 and they say, हाँ आने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, वहीं रहो, सुबह ही आना, रात को आने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So my parents are chill in that manner, and I never had to. If I have to go anywhere from college, I straight up tell them. Usually it's in the NCR only. If it's so small trip, I don't tell them. For movies and all, I don't tell them. If it's a big long day stuff, I tell them and they are okay with it.
Okay, so what was that one subject in college that you really enjoyed? I mean, कि ये class तो attend करनी ही है, it's just fun helping me, or was there just नहीं था ऐसा कुछ भी subject? Was it
fun? There is this. I wouldn't say I had the urge to attend करनी है, ऐसा तो कोई class नहीं है, but ये था कि there were couple of subjects that I enjoyed. One would be your. There is this. I totally forgot her name, but she had a subject in 4th year, something related to communication only.
Okay.
So she used to throw her ideas around how you should communicate and all that, and she even organized a sort of. You have to speak on a topic for some time and give your opinion and all that. So I did it contradictory on decision making, in which I'm very bad at. But I wanted to do on that because maybe I'll learn something. So that was very fun. And one topic was around technology, why technology is not that good or the bad aspect. So those kind of sessions that I did, they were very interesting. They were very different from that was the only practical subject I had. Others were boring stuff. Yeah, that was. I totally forgot her name, but she was really, really good.
So I'm guessing that subject was so that you could be good at interviews or something, or develop your skills when you talk to people.
You will get it in your 4th year. You will have choices to choose. So I think it was one of them.
So I guess we're done with the questions now. Anything you want to tell us students, first years, freshers or sophomores, that we should do it, we've been given opportunity in college. That one tip that you'd like to give us all, that ये तो करना ही है, मतलब it could be fun or it could be serious or anything, मतलब ये मत छोड़ना.
On a serious note, if you want to get into this field, stay in this field. So many of you have different ideas. Some would want to do, oh, I'll just get a job, I'll do MBA, oh, I'll go study abroad. I analyzed all of that, what I'll do. So everybody do that especially in first year, and some people do till second or third year. Yeah, I would say stick to a decision as soon as possible. No decision is bad, but yeah, some, like if you say getting a job in India, okay, that would be easy. Getting an MBA in top class world school without any experience and from the background of USICT, I don't think it's that easy. So yeah, so you have to wedge your bets what you think would be right for you. So based on that, and yes, financially it also comes down, like can you hold, like can your family be like financially, like can they not rely on you for the next 3-4 years? If that's okay, then you can do study. So these factors come in everybody's life, so they have to make a personal decision. But once you decide, as soon as you can decide, and then do things in respect of that. Now coming to the path that most of you will follow, that is getting a job first. So for that, I would say one important thing is DSA. Do it. Like that is a core stuff you have to do. I don't know how the future will come out. Maybe companies will ask it less, but it can never be avoided. So it will be there. That's one thing. And other thing is make quality and limited friends. I still think I had some work in this area to do in the college, but yeah, I would suggest you to have some quality good friends. Why? Because you need a healthy competition among yourself to improve. That is very important. That will push you. Guys who stay in solitude and introverted, they might study hard and they might get something good, but over the long course of journey of their career, they won't be that much improved and that much went ahead in the career, because they don't have a close group of friends with whom they can compete. And it's not competition, it's a healthy environment that pushes us.
Yeah, that pushes us to work hard.
And final thing is definitely have fun. Make some memories in college. Why? Because no amount of money can bring back those things. Like you might be putting all the oil in your college years, but after certain years your friends or your colleagues are talking about some things in college and you would have nothing to contribute there, and at that point you will feel like, why have you wasted? And that's why I even got this, I don't know, maybe you'll see it in this, can you see that? So it says memento mori. That means it's a Latin phrase for remember death. So like life is limited, time is limited. So I added this to improve my consciousness and be aware of present and remember things will fade away. Experience it and don't spend too much time overthinking and taking up decisions. So that was my motivation behind this.
So you tattooed it.
Next would be an anime.
Okay, so at last, one thing I would like to ask is, what is that go-to motivational quote? Yeah, you showed me the tattoo. Other than that, one thing your parents might have said to you, a teacher might have said to you, that you just always remember, like an advice. For you, I mean. That you always
because everybody has different experiences in life, they will have different advices. But for me, I think one good thing is, I perceive life as there are two ways you can live your life. One is very balanced. Balance is the key. You keep balance in all aspects of life, be it health, career, relationships, or any hobbies or learnings, your mental health. So these things you have to balance out. Obviously, they won't ever be in perfect balance. Sometimes something went go, sometimes something went down. You want to switch a job, you have to keep your health and social aspect low, and you have to work on your interviews. So that kind of trade-off will go, but always try to keep these things in balance. That is one way to live a life, and that's actually the best way to live. Most people are not able to
live.
Yeah. And second, other way to live is to a shonen character in an anime, just have a goal and push through, keep achieving more and more things. That is also there, but for that you need to have a certain goal and certain, more than goal, you need to have a motivation to pursue.
Motivation
Yeah.
towards that goal. Basically, a driven life, or somewhere you just know I'll go at a certain pace. So thank you so much for being here with us today. Anything you would like to add, or anything you at last conclusion?
No, and how's the mess food these days?
It's nice. I mean, it is bearable, I guess. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Any update about college? I haven't been there, so anything new that happened? I learned some infrastructure is developed more. Like,
An incubation center has also been built, like a proper incubation cell has been.
what will you get if you do 20 credits extra?
Yeah, BTech honors.
Oh, honors, BTech honors. Okay, nice. Things are changing slowly. Actually, another campus, IP's another campus is close to my
Yes,
place.
it is campus.
It's close to my place only, so I usually say they even have started classes for bachelor.
We're half our ACM team has students from that campus. They all working.
Oh, okay, design people, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Anurag is from where?
No, he's from our campus. They just have first year students, so because they're like started this year. Yeah. Thank you so much.